commitment.
An act of how we bind ourselves to our entrepreneurial action.
An action that we dedicate to the community.
A community in whom we see potential.
Potential that can brighten anyone and everyone when they're given the right opportunity. This is our commitment to changing perspectives.
This is the reality of how we see lives and improve them.
This is the reality of how we see capability and create opportunities.
This is the reality of how we see problems and give them solutions.
Don't just give a man a fish, attentively teach him ways of fishing so he can eat for a lifetime.
Hi, I'm Firdaus. I see potential in a target audience.
Hi, I'm Shahira. I see the horizon of well-being.
Hello, I'm Ashley, and my vision is developing new perspectives.
Greetings, I am Tisman. I foresee the future of a project. And I'm Aramita. I see light at the end of the tunnel. Complementing us today are our report and technical team. This is how we're committed to changing perspectives, taking action, and enabling progress. This is
Enactus University International KSHAS. This year, we executed 4 projects. For today's presentation, we shall bring forth 2 of our prime projects, portraying remarkable growth.
One brand new project and one that is running in its second year. Our first project,
Tripolis has been an ongoing project since 2012, formerly known as Mukutropolis. The project is located in an isolated village called Kampung Mukut in Pulau Tioman, Pahang.
With low tourist traffic, the community of Mukut depends on fishing activities as their main source of income. Monthly average household income is 563 ringgit, which is below the national poverty line.
The cost of living on the island is very high. Plus, they have to endure the monsoon season from late October till early March. During that period, any form of transportation to Mukut would be completely cut off.
They have to survive with minimal resources and income, forces them to sell their land or migrate. So, here's what we came up with to assist.
Mukut has a massive amount of colonies of trigona bees. Bees roaming free were once seen as pests, but now they are flying money bags. You see, trigona bees do not sting,
Making it easy to handle without protective clothing. This kind of species is rare and its honey is of high value. 1 kilogram of its honey can fetch over 200 ringgit. It is also scientifically proven to be good for health amongst others.
Hence, the solution of beekeeping for honey. And here's what we did last year.
In July 2012, we managed to get the Mukut community interested in this venture. We collaborated with both Mardi and Trigona Bee Selia Merhat, who became our main reference.
In addition, 7 beekeepers were sponsored 4 bee boxes from Mardi, while Trigona Bee had sponsored 6.
From there, the entrepreneurs had increased the number of bee boxes from 10 to 50 within the first year. They have also successfully managed to increase their income by 10% from their previous job to 628 ringgit.
Now, on to this year. The problems faced were supply not meeting local demand. Amongst the reason of low honey production were bees fleeing and predators.
To solve this, we came up with a simple standard operating procedures for the beekeepers based on information provided by Mardi. These two ensures the quality and quantity of honey.
Next, a recurring problem. Monsoons would lead to a lower production of honey. As a result, their income would fluctuate.
Thus, we advised them to increase their production during off-monsoon season, to ensure an extra supply of honey to balance out their income even during monsoon.
Next, there was a need to make their products more visible. We gave them an idea to form an enterprise. We held a discussion among the beekeepers and we assisted them to register a company with Companies Commission of Malaysia.
Mukut Trigona Enterprise was established. Besides that, the honey products were placed in Peladang Mini Market in Kampung Tekek and in souvenir shops around Pulau Tioman.
Then in February this year, we were contacted by a man, Encik Razlan, a villager from Kampung Juara. They heard about us and what we did in Mukut and wanted our assistance as well.
Our project was implemented in Kampung Juara. They were provided with the same guidelines that were implemented in Bukit. This time, 5 people from Juara were empowered to venture into the business and managed to build 50 bee boxes.
This year, all entrepreneurs were also exposed on product diversification, a more convenient packaging of honey in sticks rather than just jars. This is to cater for mobility, affordability, and quick consumption.
Each stick consists of 5 grams of honey, while 1 jar consists of 250 grams. 1 jar is equivalent to 50 sticks, with low-cost quality packaging and variable quantities, thus gaining higher revenue.
This is what was achieved overall, an increment of bee boxes from 50 to 156,
producing up to 78 kilograms of honey per month.
The total number of beekeepers has increased from 7 to 25.
The entrepreneur's average monthly income from Mukut has increased by 14%, from 628 ringgit to 808 ringgit.
While Juara, an increase of 36%, from 500 ringgit to 776 ringgit.
And the total sales of 5,190 ringgit with a net profit margin of almost 71%.
The environment benefited too. More beekeeping leads to more pollination of plants and trees, allowing healthy harvest of fruits, seeds, and organic honey. Fruits can now be harvested 3 times a year.
Okay, now, moving on. If I told you, I know some people who are raising chickens, and yeah, they are visually impaired, what would you say? Well, this next project proves that one's limitation knows no bounds.
Paradigm is about a group of legally blind individuals at the Taman Harapan in Temelong Pahang, an agricultural training facility for the blind, ranging from totally blind to severely visually impaired.
A non-governmental organization, the facility depends on donations from the public and minimal government funding. The funds are insufficient to cover the cost of day-to-day operations of the institute and upkeep.
Taman Harapan enables the trainees to learn special modules, allowing them a degree of skills in certain areas, which are mobility orientation, handicraft, braille and computer skills, and agriculture.
These modules taught lack real-life application. Their agriculture module doesn't prepare them to be competitive in the open market. Plus, they practice breeding techniques that are not at par with MARDI and commercial farming bodies.
That's why they are not able to meet the supply requirement. Suppliers have doubts to source from them. Even if their product was sold, the minimal quantity doesn't suffice.
You can see from here that they lack entrepreneurial skills. Most people have a stigma towards handicapped people.
The solution was to make them feel confident enough to even want to set up their own business. If not, build their confidence to venture into finding suitable jobs.
In a nutshell, make them self-sufficient while producing some income for the facility. Taman Harapan has an existing chicken coop to be used for the agriculture module and for the facility's consumption.
A big coop that is underutilized. We've advised them with the existing coop that the output can be increased to be a source of revenue for the facility and hands-on real-life training.
The coop is 6,000 square feet, which includes a slaughterhouse and a separate compound for chicks and grown chickens.
But to do that, they need startup capital and business guidance. So, we introduced a comprehensive module for commercial poultry farming.
Guidelines from the Veterinary Services Department and MARDI became the basis of our teachings on how to raise organic chickens.
Methods used to teach the trainees were personal coaching and hands-on practical application.
A mobility assistance stream is tied along the pathway to direct the trainees within Taman Harapan. Teachings and practice were conducted repeatedly.
To assist in funding, we adapted a microfinancing approach. Enactus UNITEN KSHAS provided 1,500 ringgit as their startup capital.
One part of the business plan is ensuring that their cost of production is capped at a minimum while keeping the quality as a priority.
This is done by feeding the poultry with feed formulation, which is a mixture of used coconut pulp and chicken feed. Additionally, this has been proven to help them gain weight naturally.
We supplied directly to end users and via a wholesale channel. So, the consumers could benefit from producer price and create a customer base for the facility.
In addition, even before the first batch of chickens was ready to be sold, we've convinced a local poultry wholesaler, Encik Abu Hassan, to do a purchase agreement with Taman Harapan.
With this agreement, any excess chicken will be sold to Encik Abu Hassan. The first batch was a successful sell-out to 82 end users and 1 wholesaler.
Organic chickens are sought after as compared to broilers. This gives them a slight advantage. Which would you prefer? Affordable organic chicken or broilers?
One thing you need to know about organic chicken is that they have a very low mortality rate. The range is between 2 to 5%.
Our professional guides are from credible bodies, Department of Veterinary Services, and MARDI. And for the sales and marketing side of things, we have Encik Abu Hassan for hands-on experience.
Okay now, here are the results thus far. Our project began with only 1 interested. 1. But now, we have 5 breeders altogether.
The total sales made from processed and live chickens are 2,500 ringgit. Processed means slaughtered, defeathered, and cleaned.
With a net profit of almost 1,000 ringgit and net profit margin of 39% for the institution, they have managed to pay back half of their microfinancing. Their revolving fund amounting to 1,700 ringgit is enough to cater for 2 more batches of chickens.
They will be able to pay us back in full after 3 batches of chicken have been sold, estimated next year, of which per batch takes 10 weeks. From the first batch, the 5 trainees have acquired 83 new customers.
We have sent our proposal to the Malaysian Association for the Blind to add 1 new module on entrepreneurship, and we are currently awaiting their feedback.
Through the project, we've enabled the trainees to be business operators and integrate with customers.
We saw much more involvement of the outside community through their business transactions.
We have enabled them to be more resilient, persevere, to be risk takers and critical thinkers.
We saw their standard of living has improved tremendously. They are now good at a skill that generates revenue.
We're also pleased to see that their quality of life has improved.
We have increased their confidence and improved their public interaction.
Okay now, on to our team sustainability. We have 3 annual events, namely Fun Day Carnival, Enactus UNITEN Alumni Assembly, and Team Building and Induction.
This year, 199 students worked in 4 projects, assisted by our 35 dynamic alumni and 2 of our committed faculty advisors.
With over 19,000 volunteer hours contributed,
impacting 430 people directly and 4,755 indirectly.
All in all, nothing great ever comes that easy.
A band of individuals with passion for change.
A family dedicated.
A community united.
Enabling bodies to be self-reliant.
self-sufficient,
Empowering abilities.
Capacity.
We are motivated by their passion
And their desire to change.
life does not get better by chance.
It gets better by change.
This is our roadmap.
to commitment.
To changing perspective.
This is
Enactus University International, KSHAS.
We will now begin the question and answer period.
Thank you for the presentation. A question regarding the customers or the sales that you make for the chickens regarding the chicken farming. Where do you find the 83 customers? How do you go about finding customers for this? And the second question is, how do you price the chicken compared to what people can buy from the market?
Thank you for your question, sir. It's easy by using word of mouth. And how we...
To add on to what he said, sir, the pricing is done based on the market price. So, for processed chicken, the price is 12 ringgit per kilogram. And if it's a live chicken, it's around 8 to 9 ringgit per kilogram. Thank you.
On Tribalists, you mentioned that you had supply issues. Can you elaborate how you're resolving those supply issues again?
Thank you for your question, sir. Yeah, we had the issues of supply. This is why we actually approach souvenir shops across Pulau Tioman and also Peladang to supply our product that will be sold not only to the villagers but to the tourists as well.
To add on to that, sir, the supply problem that was faced at the early stage of the project for this year was the supply not meeting local demand. The reasons being are natural causes. For example, they were attacked, the bee boxes were attacked by predators, and it was some mistakes that was done earlier. For example, bee boxes cannot be facing each other. So, you know, the bees will start fighting for their compound. So those were one of the reasons. But as we said earlier, we approached Mardi, and after we consulted them, we came up with the guidelines and gave it to the villages.
Hello, Enactus UNITEN. Just a different kind of question. If given a chance and you could do things differently, what would you change?
Thank you for that interesting question, sir. If you ask all of us right here, right now, I'm sure everyone feels the same as well. The one thing that everyone would like to change is being able to start every one of our projects earlier. Because seeing the amount of lives we've changed and seeing the amount of differences that made to ourselves, we would say the only regret or thing that we wish we would have done was starting our projects earlier.
Hi, question on paradigm. Your cost, does it include manpower and land cost?
Thank you. The cost is not include the manpower or labor cost because we implement it to the institute and the trainees involved too. So the trainees is gaining the skill and the institute is gaining the profit to improve upgrade the facility there. Thank you.
To add on to that, for basic understanding, it is treated like a sort of module for them. One of the modules that they do in the Taman Harapan.
I have a question regarding the long-term growth of that business. I'm very interested in that tribalist business. And what, in your view, what are the most significant challenges in terms of scaling up that business to further just triple or quadruple that supply, assuming demand is there?
Okay, thank you for your question, sir. Yeah, if you're talking about expanding.
Judges, please help.
In undertaking the Paradigm project.
I'm sorry, your time has expired, team. I'm sorry, judges.